Let's turn to the greatest of all time conversation. There's a man that is currently in the Thunderdome who's going to walk his way up to this stage, who is considered the greatest of all time in something that is now a global phenomenon. Professional wrestling is something that has shaped my life. I think it's shaped a lot of people's lives. When I was growing up and I would turn it on, I would see these superheroes of humans doing things that I never could have fathomed. And it gave me hope and inspiration on what I could be in the future. Athletics, a little bit of entertainment, some shit talk, and some magic all happening in front of me. Thank you for taking me away from my life and being entertained for a couple hours. This man, 23 years of that.
Sheesh.
This man, actual superhero. I think he had 2% body fat for 23 some years.
Sheesh.
Showed up every single day. He's just a dude from Mass up there who's worked his ass off so that he can be called the greatest of all time. And he didn't do it for himself. He did it for literally everybody around him. Every single time or every single question you ask him, you're going to hear the most humble answer of all time. He might be the greatest thespian out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
He might be the greatest thespian out there. We have no idea what his acting career will hold. We have no idea what his business acumen is going forward and everything else. But we do know he's going to be a success story. We do know that he's going to be awesome. And we do know that tomorrow night is his last ever match in the WWE. He'll be taking on Gunther on Peacock at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, the never seen 17, John Cena. Yeah! Where's Stu? Where's Stu?
Hey. Put it on.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you want you stand in between us. And you
Hold on. We gotta wait till.
Yep.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
Take out the to-go coffee.
I do love that.
Okay, man.
Where's that from?
I got to shout out Amberson Coffee and Grocer right here in Indy. Man, this is one of the best coffee joints I've been to. This is a to-go. They give you the glass mason jar. This is a cup of Get Up in a glass mason jar. I'm
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your
Coffee?
history.
Okay, history. That's just a cold transition.
OVW. No, it's not going to be a cold transition.
No,
That might be a
that's right.
cold
Keep it
coffee.
warm. There we go.
OVW in Louisville. Okay, is obviously where a lot of this whole thing started. Rip Rogers, trainer, lives in Indianapolis, from Indianapolis. Indy has been a great hub for professional wrestling for a long time. How often have you been through our city, and how did you know about this place? It feels like you were very familiar with it. You actually yelled at me for not knowing what this place is.
I just informed you that you got quite a good coffee shop. You're like, oh, man, we got good coffee in the back. I was like, man, a coffee forward place is Amberson Coffee and Grocer. They will change the way you view coffee. So,
But it feels like you've been through the city a lot. It feels
I certainly have over the past 2 decades, especially over the past year. We came to Indy twice, so being able to do 2 runs here, that was extremely special. And later on in my career, I guess these last half decade or so, I've been around the world more than 10 times, but I haven't seen anything but the inside of arenas and airports. So. I kind of changed up my philosophy of arrive early enough to experience something. I like a good cafe because it allows you to, I like to have a coffee there and maybe some breakfast there. It allows you to see people coming into work. You get a decent view of the city or people around the city, and then I try to stay for at least a meal afterwards to try to at least, if I'm only in a place for a day, I want to actually see it. I just don't want to see the inside of the arenas that look pretty much identical. And the inside of an airport is kind of identical as well.
Yeah, you want to experience the town a little bit that you've been in so frequently. You've lived this, professional wrestlers, obviously people know you guys are on the road a lot, and it's talked about as the old school days, but I think people aren't you've been living a rock star life on the road for 20 some years.
A traveling entertainer's life. I don't know how rock stars live. I don't want to think for them.
Okay. A traveling entertainer.
I've been on the traveling road show for about 23 years now, and we're hanging it up tomorrow.
Okay,
I can't wear this for one more. I got one more day to wear this. I just wanted to bring the jorts out one more time.
Well, they look amazing.
This is the actual uniform for tomorrow too. I'm very excited.
USA.
USA. USA.
It's got a lot of Easter eggs on here. A lot of stuff that's important to me. So
Well, you've been very important to the business that you've been a part of as a traveling entertainer for all these years. So I talked to Michael Cole, who I know is obviously good friends of yours as well. And he talks about wanting to retire sometime. And this guy's been on the road for 30 years. I'm like, I don't think your body will let you ever kind of step away from this type of busyness or this type of hectic or chaos type schedule. Do you think about that? Have you thought about that? Obviously, you've experienced life without the WWE. You've gone away to do some movies. This last time is now tour. You had 30-some jobs, which obviously was a conversation about maybe having 200 at some point, but you had 30-some. Have you thought about that? How life changes, how the schedule changes?
You put a lot into there. You are nonstop. You just wanted to talk about the projections for the tour, the idea, the actuality. You want to talk about, like, are you ready for life to change?
Bingo. That's the one.
This is just my perspective, and only my perspective. I think if you get into something with the understanding that it will be forever, that might be your mindset. I'm here on borrowed time. I got defensively signed in Orange County because of the WCW WF wars. I was retained in OVW because I could be an entertaining personality to help the talent more prosperous than me fall down. They kept me around in WWE when I made my debut and failed with Ruthless Aggression. I'm used to, or I've known what it's like to walk that razor's edge, to face my mortality. And I've also, a tried and true lesson that I have learned through this business, through mentorship and the business unfolding in front of my eyes, is everyone is replaceable. Everyone. So when you ask me if I'm set for the next chapter in my life without this thing that's been important to me for 23 years, my answer is yes, because this is something that I do, but it doesn't define me as a human being. I am John Cena, WWE superstar, until the bell rings at the end of the match tomorrow night. And then my role changes, but I'm still alive. I can still find curiosity in life. I can still hopefully aspire to do good things and earn a good life and feel fulfilled.
Yeah, you definitely will. I mean, we're going to dive into your acting and how great of an actor.
It also doesn't need to be monetized. I heard you say before, man, who knows what his business acumen will be? Who cares?
I'm just saying, if you decide to start investing in companies, I don't know what you're going to do.
Who cares?
You got a big brain. You got a big brain.
I just want to always keep a childlike imagination and curiosity. And as long as that happens, I'm square, man.
Okay. Well, I love to hear that. And we will talk about your acting, which is seemingly the next step, at least at this stage, and already a current step. You are so good at it. It's outrageous how good of an actor you are.
Man, that coffee's good.
You're a better actor than that coffee is good. You're not going to want to hear that. But just everything that you've done, Ricky Stanicki, not supposed to be that good. Ferdinand,
right on.
not supposed to be.
That's how we met.
Bingo. First thing I ever said to you was like, I don't know if anybody's ever said this to you, but you crushed it in Ferdinand.
And no one had ever said that to me.
Peacemaker, nobody.
So good.
I mean, you're just, everything you're in, you are great. So the next step is obviously going to be great. We can't wait to watch it. But the chaos of the life schedule, I'm excited to see kind of how you navigate it all. Now, hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. These have been things that you've been a part of the John Cena character literally since the beginning. Have you done much reflection on career through this entire
remember
process?
How I told you there are Easter eggs on the shirt?
Yeah.
This is never give up, and my words of what that means to me. I'm duking I'm giving you all a spoiler.
Yeah,
this is hustle, loyalty, and respect, and in my words, what that means to me. So those essentially are like core pillars or core values of my life. And they haven't really faltered over 23 years. I wasn't the same person I am yesterday. I certainly not the same person I was in 2004, 2010. We evolve, we grow. My core values of persistence, hard work, seeking longing connection, and just respect for those who have given you opportunity and respect for the room around you, that has not faltered. So for me to be able to sneak that in on the final, which is also a nice piece of inside baseball to those who get it. Michael Cole will get it. Like I said, there's a ton of Easter eggs on this, but a lot of them are selfish. So I took some real estate for me on this one. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. 3 losers will love it. And you don't have to apologize to me at all for absolutely anything. That's another Easter egg, I do believe, if I was to drop that accurately. But you've looked back on your career a lot? Or?
No, not at all. My eyes are focused on tomorrow night, Saturday night's main event. We got a hell of a program. I'm honored to share the ring with someone who considers the mat a sacred place, whose moniker given to him is the Ring General, because he commands the best out of his opponents. I know it's not going to be a walkthrough. Probably going to be some strikes. You'll probably hear some from the mezzanine section way up there. I'm really excited to have such a hungry competitor and such a build match, which has tons of anticipation. I'm also excited that we get to glimpse at the future of the business. Javon Evans, Obafemi, Leon Slater, Sol Roca, all going to be on the card against main event WWE current superstars. So this is a program with a bunch of eyes on it that's going to allow me to bow out, but I'm going to earn my way out because Gunther ain't going to go down lightly. And at the same time, it's going to provide opportunity for the future of the business. So I'll look in the rear view tomorrow, or I'll look in the rear view on Sunday. But right now, it's the night before game, man. I'm focused on Saturday.
I think Gunther is the perfect opponent for you. But that was obviously something that I couldn't imagine the decision being made. And obviously he earned it through the last time is now tournament. And he was the one who, in the ring, earned the opportunity to be your final WWE match. Every match that you've had on this run has obviously been either highly scrutinized or highly loved. I mean, the AJ Styles thing getting added in is what everybody thinks, allegedly. Who knows what's real, what isn't with the business, dish business, you never know. But all of these decisions getting made and all the things that you're hearing, I mean, let alone the heel turn and everything like that, you seemingly do always have that whatever's good for the business, whatever's good, whatever you think mindset. Have you had that your entire run? Who was the one that basically said, like, hey, your mindset should be like this? And how have you maintained that? Because as soon as you walked in here, I got mad at you because I heard the Chris Van Vliet interview where you said, after you gave the AJ Styles by Alicia, who's incredible what she does, the intro, you said, I apologize because I went into business for myself and everything like that.
Yeah, the apology was by choice. I was forced by no one. It's something I had to do.
I know, and I got so mad at you for saying it. You're John Cena. You don't have to apologize to anybody, okay?
But no, I didn't feel right. I had I asked permission to do it, I'm more than likely I would have been allowed, or certainly I would have taken. I'm always in search for a good explanation. Somebody says no and then gives me a good explanation, well, that's no. If someone has a suggestion and gives me a good explanation, that's fine. And a lot of my creative path and just adapting to the cards that are dealt is because they get dealt with a good explanation. And I don't really care about, and I said this on Chris as well, like, yeah, we can sit here and chatter about what could have been, or we can react to what is. And we can go like hell to make what is great. And what I love about the whole year now, this is something we can reflect on. The whole year was an intentional year-long story. Some moments folks liked, some moments they hated, some moments wished it'd pan out different. But that's like a microcosm of someone's existence. You know, as we go through 23 years of John Cena in the WWE, man, I wish some moments were different. I wish you had this opponent more because of the magic you had. Why did they ever book you in this angle? Why did you ever do this? It is a microcosm for what I've done. I love the fact that at least through it all, again, a small microcosm of my reality, fans loved it and hated it. Just like me. Let's go Cena, Cena sucks. This last year has been like a compacted version of let's go Cena, Cena sucks. And then the realization of like, it's almost not me. It's like all of us. We're all just kind of getting all of our emotions out, and I'm getting way too deep, and I never put a lot of focus on, man, what could have been. If somebody chooses to bail, or we no longer have this option, that's fine. The easiest indicator of this, and this happens all the time, is injury. And injury is easy because it's inarguable. Hey, this person is on the trajectory to be the man. Blown out knee. We're going to have them forfeit their spot. Somebody's going to have to jump. Nobody complains about that. What if somebody's burnt out?
Oh, I'll tell you what.
What if somebody just can't go? What if somebody decided that, like, yo, I don't have the passion for it anymore? Would I rather keep that person on my team or just take a rest? Let's put somebody with passion and purpose in there and see what happens. But I'm not going to sweat like, oh, but we could have done great stuff. You take the time you need to get right in your own brackets. And if you never come back into our gravity, thanks for all you did for us, but let's move forward, man. Let's move forward. And I love the fact that, like, there's been so many pivots. AJ, that was a pivot. You know, Brock was a pivot. Post-WrestleMania, all that stuff, pivot. Because of the pivot, I got Randy. I got Punk. I got to work with Logan in a singles match. Because of the pivot, I got Dom. I got AJ. I got Ron Cena. I got Sami Zayn. I got Cody at SummerSlam. Like, because of pivots, I got all these great moments. Never once was I like, but it could have been this. Yo, look what we got.
Going into it, you had a thought of what it was, obviously, whenever it's getting pitched. And now that we're at the end of it, I'm talking about this tour. I'm not talking about your entire career.
Yeah. By the way, probably the same.
I guess life, we get deeper into that if you want to. But going into this last time.
Don't wade in the water you don't want to be in.
Yeah, well, I smoke a little bit. I can get in there. The Last Time Is Now tour, though, whenever you sign up for it, that's a big emotional decision, I would assume. You know, a chapter of your life. Hey, we're actually declaring that this is going to be the last run. Now that we're at the end.
We talked about that, too. This is it. Tomorrow night, this is it. I am not coming back. And I understand you only have the data before me that you go on. No wrestler retires, right? That changes with me. Whether it all changes and everybody else after me retires and decides not to come back, that's fine. What I urge fans out there, please watch tomorrow and give yourself the closure that you need. Because my biggest concern is people are like, oh, no, he's going to parlay it into WrestleMania, or this match would be great. No. Tomorrow night is it. And if you don't believe me, if you're not ready to take that on, you may not get the closure you want. And I just urge fans when they watch tomorrow to let it all out and understand that that's it. I've come to grips with it. I look forward to tomorrow with such a positive attitude and so much excitement about making that run one more time. But that's the last time. And I think that's important to say because the data before me suggests that that's not a permanent thing. Man, I've been called a lot of stuff, but very rarely am I called a liar. And I promise you I'm a man of my word on this one. Yeah, it feels like you are taking the integrity aspect of saying this is my last time, I'm not lying to you. And it's not just you, it's a lot of traveling entertainers. And I also don't mind the perspective that other folks have. They're entitled to that. If I could just use a couple seconds of valuable airtime and say yo, at least get the closure you need. I'm good with it, I'll be fine. But I ain't coming back. Okay, and you're going first tomorrow? I heard you said that. That is Pizzagate, homie. What? What?
Excuse me?
I was on Jimmy Kimmel. I said I'm ending the show. I said I normally go to bed early, but I'm going to have to stay up late for this one. I guess people didn't read between the tea leaves. We're last. And by the way,
John Cena's final match is going last?
Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't know how the rumor started. I think there's... I think some folks with credibility like to kick a hornet's nest every once in a while and get people chattering. And I understand we're in the age of information, so it's going to keep my attention. You're not last? Sure, that'll keep my attention for a few hot clicks. I don't even know how that started. It's difficult to conceptualize that. Again, I don't make the menu. And if I show up tomorrow and they want me to go on first, well, that's what I'm going to do. But we are last as this point.
Okay, as you should be. Cannot wait for the entire show available on Peacock tomorrow, Saturday night's main event. But what I was leading into there was...
The idea that I had about the tour and the actuality.
Yeah, and also we're here now. We're at it. And you said you'll be doing a reflection thing on Sunday and all of that. But now we are at the point where it's kind of over. You're a heel for the first time ever, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure you thought about that numerous times, whether you're traveling or on the road, what it would be like if you were a heel. Obviously, celebrating and enjoying cities for the last time. It's now we're the day before the final time. Mm-hmm. And your vibes about this Last Time Is Now entire tour, good. You said you think you crushed it because of the pivots and everything like that. So when you lay your head down tonight and you think about it all, and I know reflections for Sunday, but when you think about it all, you're going to say, we done good here. This is a good piece of business, and you think you respected professional wrestling and your career with what has happened in this Last Time Is Now tour?
A great question. I think there are so many metrics because it's opinionative. Am I entertained or not? So if you look at the collective data, right, my goal in life is anyone that bets on me. If you bet $1 on me, I want to give you back 10. Because I know you'll give me another $1 and I get another chance. Every piece of good work is only a way to get you another opportunity. I'm not perfect with that ratio, but from an analytic company standpoint, I'd like to think we delivered. From a talent to talent standpoint, I'd like to think I delivered. From an audience participation standpoint, we had lots of folks show up, and whether the noise was bad or good, I know what apathy sounds like because I heard that real early on in my career a whole lot. I didn't hear a lot of apathy. Mm-hmm. So you got consistent chatter, return business, and the company's happy. The fans seem interested. I think the whole story of what this is yet to be told, but we're here now. So as we go into the last one, I think not only with black and white analytics and just emotional instinct, I know I couldn't have given anything else, man. I've given everything I've had, creatively, physically. Like I said, I'm waking up in the middle of the night, and my wife's like, "Yo, you okay?" I'm like, "No, I got this idea for a spot. I got to write it down, or I got to remember to say this in the promo, or I got to remember to suggest somebody else say this." Like, I've been 100% in. So what I do know is, after tomorrow, I have nothing left to give. But I'd like to think that all parties included can say, like,
yeah,
man, it was a wild ride.
Yeah, you done good, John.
It was a wild ride.
Go, John.
Yeah, done good.
Thanks. Appreciate you. Right, from one cup of coffee to another, to-go cups.
That's
Yours
a
is
glass.
bigger than mine.
Yeah, it looks like you got a glass of coffee and I got a cup of coffee, but that's a Cena difference, baby. That's a Cena difference. I think you've done a great job. And that whole reality
But
thing.
that's okay. People to think otherwise is okay. Like, that's,
No, I understand that. But you
that's
talking
been
about
my-
you
that's
talking
been my
about the reality
existence.
of the business is a huge deal. You know, like me having the opportunity to work in WWE for a little bit and getting to see it and then seeing what people have to deal with. Well, actually, it was somebody got sick in a city. Just something as small as somebody got sick or a flight got delayed.
That got my first match. Undertaker was sick. He couldn't make the shot. So Kurt Angle calls out a dude from Ruthless Aggression. I had to get my hair cut at 3:30, came back in and wrestled a gold medalist.
You on SmackDown?
Yeah, me on
Yeah.
SmackDown is
Yeah.
because everybody was stuck in Saudi, so I got a chance to commentate in Buffalo. I get a call that says like, "Hey, everybody's stuck in Saudi Arabia. Could you get to Buffalo tonight?" Absolutely, I said. I
Sure.
could definitely do that. Could I at that time? No.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I said yes, absolutely, I can
Yes,
get
and
there.
figure it out.
Yeah, and
And if you do good work, it'll get you another chance. It might not get you where you want to be. It might, you had mentioned, I had an idea about what I thought this year would be. And the people who own the entity that I'm pitching, their response is like, I like the idea, we just want to do it this way. Just because it's my idea doesn't mean it's a good idea. I got to be able to adapt. If I want to do the thing, I kind of got to be collaborative. And I think a lot of times in entertainment, especially with star-driven entertainment, we lose the idea that, like, it is us doing this. We are only as good as our collaboration. Your effing John Cena is a testament.
That's why I kept saying to him this morning.
That is a testament to everybody I've ever danced with. Absolutely, because I'm a collaborator. I'm not anything without them. And that includes the people in the stands. Because you let's go to DC tomorrow and don't let anybody in. You see how
COVID time, brother.
You see how raucous that match is.
Yeah.
So we're all doing it together. That's why I say, like, tomorrow isn't about me stepping down. It's about, like, sports entertainment, closing a chapter, and also opening another one at the same time. It's that last page of the chapter that folds into the next one. You get to see the future, but we're also closing this 25-year thing and taking a look at the next ride.
yeah, but you'll be remembered then, now.
Nobody remembers
And
anybody.
forever.
Dog.
Yep.
Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody remembers
Yes,
anybody.
you
And
will.
that's, by the way, that's not the way it should be. Tomorrow should happen. People should be excited and emote. January comes, I need you looking at the Rumble, and I need you looking at WrestleMania. Because that means you're excited about the business. And in actuality, if you're excited about the business and the superstars in it, that makes every accomplishment meaningful, which makes a number like 17 meaningful, which brings me up casually in conversation when somebody's chasing down 17 and when somebody gets 18. That's how it all's supposed to work. But if they're still thinking about me in January, which is 2 weeks away from tomorrow, we got to focus on what is. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the respect, but
Yeah,
the utmost respect is to look forward and look at the future of where we're gonna go.
I understand that, and I respect that. And I think you signed an ambassador deal with the WWE, so obviously the WWE still very much wants John Cena to be a part of the family. Will forever, because you're fucking John Cena. Okay, so as you need to remember forever.
In a different role.
Yeah, before the boys ask their questions for you, final one for me is, can you tell me about Stu a little bit? I obviously know Stu. Everybody that's been in WWE knows Stu.
So
You talk about dancing partners. What a perfect tag team partner for you.
So first of all, again, you hear me say this a lot. Nobody does it alone. Honestly, all these memorable moments that we have, there's a partner attached and more partners attached. I'm talking about like Dega Catering, who feeds us, all the folks behind the scenes. I was told not to break the fourth wall, not to talk to the camera. So I said, fuck it, I'll talk to the cameraman. And I can look right over the lens and Stu's there. And we got a whole crew of camera folks and people that make this live event look the way it does. A whole TV truck of folks that shoot the cuts and make our stuff a lot better than it is. And my conversation with Stu, who's an individual I care deeply for, is also a conversation with what I call the truck. Everybody in that room over there, making sure we all look good. And every time I say, let's go to work, those men and women have already been hard at work, making the show awesome before the first bump is even taken. So Stu is kind of a conduit to my conversation, not only to the audience out there, because I'm stealing a way to break the fourth wall, but it's also me talking to the folks that I care about who never, ever, ever get to be in the center of a ring and have the audience go, fantastic. But without them, we are worthless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
WWE crew is the greatest.
It is the greatest.
They are the greatest people. And a lot of them, you talk about traveling entertainers, a lot of them have been on the road for 30 years.
And do it because it is what they love to do, because they're not getting applause, man. They're not getting any of that. They just show up and hustle. Like,
you're talking about pre-show routines to keep the body loose now, because that's how long they've been around. You're talking about prepping before the thing, all the camera people, the people in the truck, the lighting,
just the time,
the greatest people. Dude.
The time under tension I've spent with these people over 25 years. Like, man, I know them. We're all. It's a family business. Like you spend so much time around these people, you just get to know them.
What if Stu tomorrow just punches you in the face from the camera? Says, you know what, actually, I'm sick of this thing.
Stealing my job.
So if he throws a Ohio right and he connects, I'm going to tell him, I've been with him 25 years. He hasn't learned to work and punch.
You are a good punch.
Have I taught you nothing?
Hey, nobody talks about the old Cena punch. Cena throws good.
Have I taught you nothing?
All right, let's. The boys have some. Go ahead, Con Man. Boston Connor.
Yeah, John. Speaking of too, I love the last fit. I'm hoping that maybe it's because you're rushing the passer for the Patriots on Sunday after your match.
You can look through whatever lens you want to, my friend. I'm glad you like the style.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well then I'm gonna just hold on to that hope until 1 o'clock on Sunday. But speaking of Stu and Michael Cole and kind of the tribute videos, like what do you feel when you see stuff like that? Because a lot of it is awesome. All the old clips of you wrestling is incredible, and Michael Cole is on the call for damn near all of them. And what does he mean to you just as a person, let alone an announcer? And when you do see all of these people who you've danced with in your terms, and also people that you haven't even, them reaching out, like what does that kind of evoke out of you? Just because all the accolades, the 17 and everything, it is incredible, but just what about the relationships and what that means to you?
So the relationship with each individual here is they're all different. I think what I take away most from all this is, again, we did this together, and I understand exactly how lucky I am. I am like one of, if not the luckiest human being on the face of the earth. Very rarely does life hand us a lottery ticket. I've been getting lottery ticket after lottery ticket after lottery ticket.
Amen, brother. Save us. So
now,
so we.
every ticket is simply a chance to work harder. When I see something like this, I think when I begin to reflect on 2.5 decades, the thing that I want to, I guess, be validated, and the thing that I always struggle with is, did I do enough? Did I reach enough people? Did I use my opportunity correctly? Did I make the most of this lottery ticket or stack of lottery tickets that you've handed me? Because I'm a fan. I'm an observer of life. I've seen people waste them, and I've seen people use them, and there's no better feeling. You want to root for the folks who use their lottery tickets. When I see something like this, it says that we shared a lot of moments and that there's mutual respect from especially people who are kind of apprehensive, and even in the face of the show, who respect the business, will give me a second of their time. It means the world to see all this, because it means hopefully I did okay with my lottery tickets.
Yeah, I think you did, buddy. Mm-hmm. And you gave lottery tickets to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you're fucking John Cena.
Cena.
Okay, so
that's what the business does, man.
2.5 decades into this, and we are living the luckiest life of all time. But it does feel as if everybody in this business, old school and new school, all appreciate you. You've gone through a lot of different generations here, iterations of professional wrestling, from when it was still kind of viewed as carny side, not really thing, to mainstream, to out of kind of public favor, to struggling with tickets, to now being the biggest it's ever been financially and tickets wise and globally and everything like that. Your thoughts on the current state of the business? I know you said if you want to pay the ultimate respect to me, you continue to watch and look forward to what the next generation is. You're trying to put over a lot of NXT talent, and whenever Sol Ruka's flip stunner or flip cutter off the corner is insane. I think she did off the top rope too. People are going to lose their mind. Javon Evans is outrageous.
He's real, dog.
He is outrageous. Oba is insane. I mean,
presence.
Yes, he certainly is. So I appreciate the fact that you are utilizing your last platform, your last big one, to put over the future of the business. But the business has changed mightily since you got into it.
Sure.
There is a different world, different time. From the Unreal situation going on with Netflix, which I think you and I kind of viewed it the same. I don't want to say I'm old school in this business, but I didn't necessarily love the thought of what Unreal was.
Coming from the guy who filmed me backstage, just kept filming all the time. I'm like, yo, man.
That was Foxy. That was Foxy.
Is there any like, hey, you
where's this going?
Man.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't know.
Did you ever see that film anywhere? Okay, anyways, on that note, we protect this business. So, but with the Unreal, with the streaming platforms, with how global it is, like, how do you feel about the state of the business? And what do you think about the future of it whenever it comes to creative, stars of the future, what's going to happen? Like, how long can the WWE continue to do this? How long can wrestling continue to do this in your eyes with the current state of everything?
So I honestly believe that live entertainment has a strong future. We don't know what the advent of new technologies will bring, but man, I think humans want to see humans do stuff. And I think WWE and sports entertainment's in a real good spot. I think people like getting together in groups, and the more we do this all day, the more maybe we want to get together in an arena or stadium and just emote and lighten our backpacks a little bit. I think WWE is in a great spot to do that. The talent roster is deep. I mean, we used to look to the bullpen. It used to be only a couple guys on the bench. Now we got people elbowing for spots. Like, we are deep, and it has never been a better time. If you're one of the active participants, it's never been a better time to be a WWE superstar. You get paid the most it's ever seen to train. You get paid the most, numbers that I couldn't even think about. The guys are making now to draw money. I mean, it is, you can make a vocation out of it in a short period of time. It's approaching that athlete's window, where if you do your 5-year deal, if you do the small 3-year deal and then an extra one, gosh, you will never know want. And it used to be more incentivized. I think they're taking better care of the talent, but who's to say if that is good or bad? I prefer to be incentivized. I prefer to like go out there and create interest, but I don't know, because I've never been on the other model. We're working less events. I prefer to get that in-season groove, but I don't know the alternative. And I love the create more demand, which creates more excitement. Like, everything has a good explanation behind it. I'm not the biggest fan of Unreal, and I've told the producers of Unreal that, but I also say, hey, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it isn't right. The business, the consumer wants more, and they want to show behind the scenes. So they're just going off of what they know, and we're trying to give the consumer what they want. I saw every episode, so who's really wrong? And I'm excited for season 2, so who's really wrong? But just because it makes me feel uncomfortable, if it's a success, maybe I got to look in the mirror and ask myself, okay, what about me doesn't feel comfortable with this? There's what I love about, to answer, never been a better time than right now. There have been the golden era, the boom of the attitude era. This is like sustained, incredible growth through all platforms, and expansion and more content and allowing people to get out there and do what they do. There's never been a better time. The way we recruit is different with the NIL program, so we can get people who maybe didn't, you didn't love wrestling all your life, but you can be drawn into it and fall in love with it as a second mountain. It is incredible. And what I love about it most is I was always taught in the business, especially when I started gaining traction, swing big. Do not be afraid to swing big. And just because I personally don't get a lot of the swings, when I hear a comment like, I'm old school, what I hear is, I don't want to adapt. That's all I hear. I like the way it was, and I don't want to adapt. And if you want to look deeper into that, you can be like, okay, well, really what I'm saying is, like, I like discipline, or I like coaching this way, and I'm not accustomed to this way of how we're doing it. I get all that. We can dig deeper on everything. But when I hear somebody say I'm old school, it's they just don't want to adapt. They like what was. So it's time to move on. As far as being in the business, never been a better time. But here's the kicker. The biggest challenge now is on the business, is on the men and women out there performing, because boy, have they had some large shoes to fill. You know, we got to keep growing and we got to keep prospering. And I don't know if a lot of folks have seen hard times. A lot of folks have seen a house 12% filled.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So having gone through that, you feel great about where you're leaving the place. But the kids now, they don't know shows that aren't sold out, and they don't know, you know, selective noise and like again 10% draw of an arena. But they got it's their lottery ticket. Their lottery ticket is like best time ever. Work hard to keep it up. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I mean, consumer chatter is an all-time high. Engagement's at an all-time high. We're in a real good spot. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, you've done a great job with your time. And the baton is obviously well carried whenever you were carrying it. Excited to see the next generation of superstars take it to the next level. That's always the goal for this business. Ty has a question for your next business.
Yeah, in terms of your acting career, I read an article, I think it was earlier this week, and it was maybe one you did with Variety or Vanity Fair or something like that. And it was when you were, I don't remember if it was 12 Rounds or The Marine or whatever it was, but you were filming over in Australia, didn't really love the experience, you know, because it was a lot of, hey, we need you here by this time, and then you get there and then you just wait. And I think you talked to either your business partner or someone, and the decision was basically made like, hey, we're done with this for now, right? You know, at some point in that.
I want you to finish the thought because I want to jump in a bunch here, but I want to hear you out.
And this might go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier with who knows whether that's accurate or not. But so then you have that hiatus where you're not acting and it's all WWE for a while. At what point did you, if that is true, at what point in your career, when you are established, one of the biggest superstars in the history of professional wrestling, at what point did it go off where it's like, you know what, maybe I do want to dip my toes back into acting, and I want to kind of go in full bore with this, knowing that you had it made in the shade in WWE. Like, you didn't have to do that, but it was something that maybe you found like a new passion for. You're like, you know what, I actually could be really good at this.
So the statement is great. The question is great. A lot of what I'm hearing, the way you describe your question, is it was my choice. It was not at all. I did The Marine as a young 20-something superstar who went from going from city to city with audiences and arenas chanting your name and going bonkers. Like, while I was in Australia filming The Marine, all I thought about was wrestling. So my passion wasn't in it. I was uninvested. And in doing so, I was also unprofessional, which made me unreliable. Then I kept doing movies, and the reason I did The Marine and did 12 Rounds and did all these movies was a business model. WWE Films was supposed to make us movie stars so more people go through the turnstiles, which means more noise and more excitement, and we needed that at that point. I didn't do movies because I wanted to do the craft. I did movies to sell more tickets. So something's going to suffer. Yes, we might sell more tickets, but the movies are going to suffer because I wish I was in Nassau Coliseum or Rosemont Horizon, not on a movie set, twiddling my thumbs waiting for them to blow something up. My mind was elsewhere. I wasn't present. So when you say, oh, you know, you and your business partner said, we're not doing this anymore. No, my best friend and manager, I can't even call him manager because I don't like the term. My best friend, Dan Boehm, who's been side by side with me for over 2 decades, I looked at him and said, after doing a bunch of shitty movies, and said, yo, we're never going to do movies again, aren't we? And this is the guy whose job is to hunt for film. He turned to me and said, no, we're not. But don't worry about it. We're going to find another way. And we did. I started hosting live shows. I started hosting game shows. I started doing cameos on TV shows, little quick hits. I read the news, stuff to keep me engaged, to keep my skills sharp. Just why I want to be an ambassador for the WWE. I don't want to lose the pulse. I want to keep that sharp because there's passion there. And then I got a lottery ticket. Somebody wanted me to come and audition. And I was a little older, a little wiser. And finally, I said, hey, man, if you say yes to this, we talked about this off camera. I want to be an actor. All right, put the same passion And elbow grease beside it is when you said, I want to be a wrestler. What did I do when I said I want to be a wrestler? Back in Kentucky, I bought as many tapes as I could. I invested in my appearance. I kept myself lean, strong, always looking to improve, go extra practice. Put that amount of effort into this and just see where it goes. And do that over repeated amounts, and the law of compounding interest should yield. But I didn't say, like, time to get back in the movie biz. No, somebody bet on me. And I approached it with the passion to give them $10 back. And that happened. So somebody else bet on me. And I tried to give them $10 back. And like I said, I ain't perfect, but nowadays, if you were like, yo, man, we could do this over Zoom. Fuck no, we do it face to face.
No, the fact that you flew all the way out here the day before your last,
but this is
we are obviously very thankful for it. But when I was being told you were going to fly out here, I was telling WWE people, I was like, no, just tell him he doesn't have it. And you're like, no, we're definitely doing it.
Yeah, because I want to be good for you guys. I want to be good for the show. I want to be good for our show. You're an advocate for the business. Hell, you're a co-worker. You know what I'm saying? So again, y'all gave me an opportunity, and I'm just trying to give you back 10. You know what I'm saying? So
you did.
I learned from my mistakes early on of, like, your heart wasn't in it. And if you try to put as much effort as you put into this thing that you truly love, then love it. Love what you now do. Don't, a lot of New Year's resolutions gonna be, I want to get in shape. Fucking do it. One foot in front of the other and start grinding. Like, I want to eat more healthy. Do it. I want to drink less. Do it. Like, you gotta approach it with passion and commitment. And I didn't have that. And I can say that because I got a lottery ticket. And honestly, without that ticket, I would still say that. Like, that's where I missed. But from my failure, it was a huge takeaway of, like, man, you got a chance to do something. Let's see where it goes. And I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to make bad movies. Like,
I doubt it.
No, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't think you are.
I'm going to have bad matches. This whole year is, hey, this is great. This sucked. This is awesome. Why is he booked in this? It happens. It happens, man. But if you give all you can, I at least have, like, the sleep is sound. I've done all I can. The sleep wasn't sound because I knew my heart was elsewhere. That's a great question, but you understand how, like,
for sure,
you're like, oh man, and then you just said, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and then you just said, like, I'm doing it again. Nah, it was not like that.
Well, we want to let you know that whatever lottery ticket brought you into whatever business, we're thankful for it because we've enjoyed the hell out of watching you. Thank you for your commitment to our entertainment.
What a cup of coffee.
Great glass of coffee that you had there, but also incredible run in one particular business that we all love. Can't wait to see whatever you do next. Can't wait to watch tomorrow night on Peacock.
That's
Saturday
what we're
nights.
here for. Please watch tomorrow night.
For the love of everything holy. Tomorrow night, Cena will dance for one final time with Gunther.
Let's almost go to work.
Hey, I want to let you know, you can wrestle. You can wrestle.
For one more night. And after that, I cannot. You were all right. I cannot after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, John Cena.
Thank you. Appreciate it.